One thing I just wanted to relate before I go on from here, one thing I wanted to relate back from my military experience, and I have incredibly fond memories of my time in El Paso. It was just the best 2 years of my life, except for my children now, of course, but prior children, it was just the best 2 years of my life. And one of the things I remember was every morning, starting at 6 a.m, so yes, I was out of bed before 5. So every morning starting at 6, we did an hour and a half of physical training, physical exercise. Really, really intensive stuff. I loved it. In fact, I actually ran the physical training for our group of around 25. Just a few miles out of El Paso, out of the base, was this national park or state park called McElligot's Canyon. And it was going up through the desert, and the road was quite steep. It was only maybe 3 kilometres up, roundabout, back again. It was really quite steep. And we'd perhaps just run it, or we'd put our house on our back and have other equipment and carry that up there. But one of the things I love to do, and it's all to do with this, that as we're finishing up, so 7:30 is approaching, the smell of breakfast being cooked in the distance, you know, is coming across the canyon, and the sun is actually just starting to come up above the horizon. There's all of a sudden, you know, with just the finishing line in distance, smiles start to appear on the faces of the officers that I had. Well, it was obvious why, because there's the finish line, it's almost 7:30 and we are done, right? So the hard bit's over and we're almost finished. So, you know, the shoulders perhaps just raise a little bit, the chins come up a little bit, they start to talk to each other a little bit more, and the smiles come up, and, well, of course, I don't know what's about to happen to them, so they're all feeling pretty good about themselves. So they finish, they get down to the finish line, and first thing they do, of course, is just take some of their equipment off and perhaps just do a few stretches and all those sorts of things. And I think, great, that's a good morning's workout, done really well. I then just gather them, I say, right, just put all your gear back on for a second. And if you remember, just back at that corner, just up the road there, was where the white line marker started on the road. What I'm going to do is just get my watch out, and you all have 3 minutes to get back up to that corner, touch the white line and get back here. Ready? Well, from all of a sudden thinking everything's over and breakfast is just around the corner to, hang on, we actually need to go back up there, and if they're not back in 3 minutes, I'll do it again, and we'll just keep doing it until they reach the goal of 3 minutes. Well, all of a sudden the chins which were up here have all of a sudden touched their chest. All the smiles have completely disappeared. The shoulders, which were holding up packs and really feeling quite strong, and the chest's out, they've just deflated and gone somewhere. So the reaction, and it was a real learning point, they weren't going to achieve huge physical benefits out of just running back up the road and coming back. To me, it was the mental aspect of, sometimes things happen that you don't expect. Sometimes you think everything's all right and you're feeling good about yourself and everything's okay. But all of a sudden things just come out. Remember, life is 10% what happens to you, but 90% how you react to it. Now, always in the group there were those that stood out to me, and they were those who never lowered their chin, and their shoulders remained exactly the same. And in fact, they actually smiled back at me, going, good on you. Right? Good on you for challenging us. Right? I knew they were, I guess, mentally, probably just that little bit more prepared than the rest, because they reacted just quite quickly and said, you know what can I do? We're going to be going back up to that corner whether I like it or not. So let's deal with that reality and deal with it in the right way. So from an emotional standpoint, to me, they were really quite prepared, right, to deal with some things that we weren't expecting. Right? So I certainly was testing their emotion.